sure if anyone's noticed, but hello, we've started doing video. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
You're going to see a whole new side to me and Charlotte, because once again, if you thought we couldn't be any more different, visually, we are exceptionally different.
And like weirdly, I was watching back last week's one and realized I really need to be like more animated in my face because I just sit there and talk. I'm very monotone, like English.
But don't compare yourself to me, because I'm like ultimate animated as well. So, don't compare yourself to me. Just at your own comfort and at your own leisure, okay?
And and we also launched our YouTube channel, guys.
Hence the videos.
So now you can watch us as you listen to your favorite podcast, whether you're on Spotify, Apple, or YouTube. Woohoo!
The thought of us on someone's TV screen. Oh, let's not think too hard about that, shall we?
But this week was Valentine's week. So sending out all the love to everyone and all the joy.
I love that you're like, it's a week. I'm like, God, it's bad enough it's a fucking day. Yes, Valentine's. What did you do?
Well, I did actually have a friend round. He's not a romantic partner. He just likes to come over and help me with the house. But he bought me a bunch of flowers. That was lovely.
What a sweet person.
Isn't he? I was like, that's so cute. You didn't need to do that. You're coming here to work on my house for free. Like, and I get flowers?
Bonus. But you feed him.
I do. I said to him this week, because I've just ordered my firewood, which has cost an absolute bomb. So I said, I don't have any money, I'm going to cook. But then we were 2 bottles of wine deep. So I was like, let's just get a takeaway. And then the night ended with 5 bottles deep. So feeling a little fragile this weekend.
It's hard to believe like it hasn't turned into anything else, just because, I mean, sitting there with someone 5 bottles deep, even just to get something out of your system. But you actually don't. You're actually really just good friends.
Well, we spent New Year together and we spent the night doing the big fat quiz. I mean, like, we love doing things like that together. And even then we both like kind of listening to old tunes and stuff. So we were like listening to music till 3 a.m, singing and dancing. It was so much fun.
Sounds fantastic, to be honest. I had a wedding on Valentine's Day where I had to go to Tiana and do the hair for, which was quite a romantic thing to be doing on Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Did Sandra do anything for you for Valentine's?
No, I don't think so. No. Mm-mm. He's not that kind of person. He's kind of the kind of person who just randomly will hand you a bunch of flowers. Like last week, he came into the salon with loads of flowers and put them all in vases for me and put them around the salon. Like he does that randomly. Yeah, no, he's good like that. So, I don't need anything on Valentine's Day. And I did go to the wedding though, which was so lovely. And as much as it kind of sounds a bit corny to have a wedding on Valentine's Day, it's not really. It's just another day at the end of the day. And like it was actually quite lovely. Everyone was in a good mood. And I was in Tiano, and oh my God, Tiano is so unbelievably beautiful. Like unbelievably beautiful. Anyway, regardless, have you any like memories of Valentine's Day where someone did sweep you off your feet?
Yeah, I think my best Valentine's Day, it was when I was probably about 22 or something. I was early 20s, and I woke up hungover. My mum came in my bedroom and she was like, Charlotte, you've got a letter. And I was like, what do you mean I've got a letter? And she was like, I was like, go away. I'm hungover. Like, I want to sleep. She's like, no, open the letter. So I sat in bed and opened the letter, and it said, I had like a long-term boyfriend at this time. And it said, pack a weekend bag, pack something pretty, not slutty, but also pack something slutty, not pretty. And I was like, ooh, where are we going? So he picked me up, and I didn't know where we were going or anything. I just had this weekend bag of outfits and stuff. And we got in the car and we headed to London. So London was about 40 minutes from where I lived. And we were like right in the center of London. And we rock up at this fancy hotel. I can't remember what the hotel was called, but a friend of mine used to work at the Dorchester, which is a big famous hotel. And it was right by the Dorchester. So it was on like a really, very expensive row of hotels street. And so, yeah, we checked into the hotel and there was champagne in the hotel. And then he was like, right, we're going out to dinner. And I mean, it doesn't take much to please me. He did say he was going to book a really fancy dinner, but he knew I would just love Pizza Express because it's my favorite place to eat. So we went to Pizza Express, had a lovely meal, and then we went to a show and we went to see, what was it? Chicago. We went to see Chicago. And it was hilarious because it's not his thing at all. And he used to take me to the Grand Prix and I used to fall asleep. And at the end of the show, he was like, see, I didn't fall asleep. So he was quite chuffed with himself that he made it through the whole show. And then, yeah, we went back to the hotel and had cocktails. And yeah, it was just one of the most magical Valentines because it was really being treated.
And you got surprised.
Yeah, it was lovely. Even the little note. I think the note was the best bit because it was like, oh.
I'm not too sure how I would have responded to that note.
Really? Why?
Well, I mean, on Valentine's Day, a guy gave me a tape with Meatloaf songs on it.
You would love that.
I did, but I found it a bit much, so I did dump him.
Oh, really? Oh, no. That was super sweet. Did he make you like a mixtape of Meatloaf?
Yeah, that kind of stuff. I mean, I remember thinking like, oh, that's nice, but a bit corny for me. And yeah, he was gone not long after that. I was quite blunt when I was like in the early years of like meeting guys. I remember being quite blunt and being like, no, sorry, and then goodbye. I don't know why I was like that. Maybe someday I'll figure it out. But right now, I don't know. But that's my only memory of a Valentine's Day.
You must have like something.
I don't think so, Charlotte. I don't think
Mine
so.
Is blank.
That's the only thing I can really remember is the Meatloaf tape. I honestly, truly, maybe my memory's just bad. I don't know. I mean, listen,
you know what? I remember one Valentine's, me and you went and did a walk in Bob's Cove and we went up, what was it called? It was rude. It was like Knobs Peak or something it was called.
I don't know, but you've just triggered my memory. Actually, I had a great Valentine's Day. Charlotte Dempsey and Sandro put my feet in a bath of water and softened them up. And then they had a cutthroat and they opened up in between my baby toe. And I just had a glass of wine.
I know what's going to happen.
And they took out like 25 hairs that had embedded themselves. I was in so much pain for weeks. Oh my God, it was the best Valentine's Day ever. Now,
that's disgusting.
And I've had a great Valentine's Day. Actually, I had a great Valentine's Day. Oh, well done, Charlotte. You've
got loads now.
Yeah, myself and Alice were in Asia together and we decided we were living on nothing, the cheapest hostels, the street food, you name it. And we actually took ourselves out for dinner and it was in South America and in Asia we did it. We did it in Phuket one year and we did it in South America another year where we were sitting for our meal. We could see like another country across the bay and it was quite lovely.
Wow.
Actually. Yeah.
So you've got loads of lovely memories. You just need them to be triggered.
Yes, thank you. Nice. Yeah, but that hair one was the best. Oh.
And but yeah, that wedding you had on Valentine's, I do think though, because that then turns into their wedding anniversary, so they kind of miss out on an extra day of celebrating love because it's combined with the wedding.
But maybe that's the idea, isn't it? Like if you don't, I mean, the year goes around so quickly. There's so many fucking dates, so many birthdays, so many anniversaries. It's all a big load of bullshit. I mean, my stepfather and my mother got married on his birthday because he kind of had in his head, oh, fantastic, I'll never forget our wedding anniversary. But little did he know that my mother erased his birthday. She was like, well, everyone has to celebrate our anniversary now, so sorry, your birthday's dead. And she told him afterwards, which was fantastic. She's like, that's all about me now. It's all about me now. And he's just like, okay, darling.
And you didn't just have one wedding this week. You've had two.
Yeah, yeah, two weddings. The second wedding was yesterday. Not only did I do the hair, I was actually invited as well. So it was a big day, and it was just absolutely unbelievable. One of the best weddings I've ever been to, and I loved every second of it, which was incredible. And on top of that, I did 4 12-hour shifts in the salon. So Monday, Tuesday,
Ooh,
Wednesday, Thursday. And then Friday, I was up at 4 a.m. to get to the wedding in Tianu. And then I was up at 5 a.m. to get to the wedding yesterday because they were both an hour and 10-minute drive from my
Christ.
house. I know. So on Monday morning, I very much had to explain to Sandra. We sat down and I just spoke to him. I said, listen, my week is going to be huge. I definitely need you to understand that, like, if I'm off, it's not about you. It's not about you, Sandro. When I'm at home, I need that time to kind of, chill. And if I'm snappy, like, you're pre-warned, basically. And I implemented some things because last week I actually had a panic attack, which I don't get like ever. But I knew
Wow.
it was happening. Yeah, I know. I mean, it happened on Saturday morning, and I don't know what it was a build up of, but the rooster sent me over the edge. She just wouldn't shut the fuck up on Saturday morning, and I had to go down to work, and then I had to go back up to Queenstown for the hen party for the wedding yesterday, and I just breathed myself through. Like, it was fine. But what I didn't expect to happen from the panic attack, which means I obviously haven't really suffered from them at all, because what I noticed was my energy levels were zero. It takes a lot out of you. And so when Monday came and I knew the big week that I had, I decided to implement a good few things on top of it. So I didn't drink all week. I didn't drink at the weddings. I didn't drink at home. Nothing. When I had 3 meals a day, I had a good breakfast. I had an organized lunch in the salon, and Sandra had food ready for me when I got home. He kept the place actually quite tidy, which was really nice. But also the cleaner was due to come in this week, which that was amazing. That couldn't have been timed any more perfect. And I just kept myself kind of cool, calm, and collective, and just told myself whatever is happening is happening. And I had a really, really good week. But that's not sustainable every week. So back now to trying to ease back into it. And also there was a funeral. So someone in our family has passed away. She's an elderly lady, and she's awesome. She's the nun of the family. So she's the last of my
She's an
grandmother's.
actual nun.
She's an actual nun. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Right.
She was. Yeah, she's amazing. She's a nurse and a nun, and she was in the nuns nursing home in Tullamore in Ireland for years at this stage. She's in her late 90s, and she was an incredible woman. But I mean, that just this week really kind of like I was like, right, we need to live like the dreams we had when we were 8, and we need to like as you're elderly, in your 90s or 80s, you need to look back and think like, yeah, you fucking tried everything that you thought of, and not take ourselves so seriously. God, my week has definitely been, I mean, listen, I can't. That's enough of that, really. You get the idea. Like, it's like fucking 2 weddings and a funeral.
And can we just circle back to the panic attack? Because I felt like you mentioned and then just went into the chaos of the week. But that's a big deal. Like, I mean, I've never had a panic attack, but I had those heart pains before, and I Googled it and it said it could be panic attacks. Like, what does it feel like? I mean, I don't know if I've had one to know if I'd recognize it.
You lose your breath. You lose your breath fully, and your breathing becomes like super shallow, like like that. Like I've talked people through enough panic attacks in the salons all through the years, and put like brown paper bag up to their mouth, etc., and just like breathe it with them really slowly to know what to do. Thankfully, because I think if I didn't have the tools, it would have actually ended quite badly, because you can pass out. I mean, Sandra was there, and he was like, "Oh, look at
I was
her
going
doing
to
her
say,
breathing
yeah, were
technique."
you on your own?
No, I wasn't, but he wasn't paying any attention whatsoever either. He thought I was doing some breathing techniques because I went into doing. I had the door
Because that's
open.
like your normal day.
No, I know, I know. I mean, eventually he kind of copped on, and he kept on asking like, "Oh, what's going on?" And I was like, "I can't fucking talk, you know. Like I'm trying to fucking breathe here."
Yeah.
I can see how people pass out for sure. So yeah, I was exhausted. I don't know. I definitely had in the back of my head last week my tax bill coming up in April and possibly some little things like that. And I probably just compounded possibly over time because I can't pinpoint something. So it just goes to
Mm.
show really that like you just have to implement really small things and just have them as your habits. Because
Yeah.
yeah, you having bad things as habits compound as well. Makes sense, right?
And And I feel like we've both had a bit of a week of wellness and, trying to up our game a little bit with, everything that we do is in like enhancing our daily routines and, things that we are putting into practice that we possibly wouldn't have done before. Like, drinking 5 bottles of wine with a friend on a Friday night. It was definitely not in my agenda for this week. But I did order some castor oil. Have you heard about the
Well,
wonderful benefits
yeah,
of
I do. I
everything?
follow some people that put it in their belly button or they do something with their belly button.
Yeah, so I bought, well, I mean, like I've bought it to be putting on my face, and I have actually noticed like my skin is a lot better. I've been putting it in my hair, and I've got like this hair piece that I put like a towel thing that I put on so I can sleep and it doesn't get on the pillows. And then I also bought this like stomach wrap thing, so you rub all the castor oil on your stomach and like in your belly button because it's the only oil that seeps through the skin, so it's really good for your digestive and all your organs, and it's just miracles in every way. You can swallow it, but you'll need to be near a toilet. um, but yeah, so I rubbed it on my stomach, and then you put the wrap around, so again it doesn't get on your clothes or anything because it's a really thick oil. And then you can sleep in it, and so you can give it like overnight so it seeps into your body and all the goodness. So I'm feeling like really excited about my castor oil journey.
Well, it's also you're doing something for yourself that makes you feel good.
Well, yeah, and if it's helping my body,
Mm.
I'm hoping it will help the hair and just get that going a bit better so I
No
don't get told off
fucking
by my
comment.
hairdresser.
No fucking comment. Your hairdresser lives in the UK.
But you've been
She is
ordering
in
as
the
well.
Yes, I ordered something called Activate, and it is a drink. So you put it in your drink in the morning, daily wellness drink. It's for balancing my gut.
Mm.
Because I've been looking at like pictures of like parasites that they're coming out of fucking people. And I was like, okay, maybe my gut needs a bit of loving, and maybe my body actually needs a little bit of fucking TLC. I don't know what's a gimmick and what's not though. So I just thought, you know what? Let's give something a go.
Weirdly that you said that, because it's just so bizarre. I feel like the more we do this podcast, the more we turn into the same people. And when we
We're
hit
morphing.
record, we suddenly realize that we're mirroring each other. Because I saw this video on, I don't know, Facebook or something. And it was a guy talking about how if you eat papaya seeds, you don't chop them, don't bite them, just swallow them whole. They will act like a magnet to parasites, right? So I bought one. It's been sat in my fridge now for a good few days because I'm like, I'm terrified of what might happen. I'm sure nothing happens, but I don't even know if I have a parasite. Like I was telling my friend doing,
Everyone's
my
got a
video,
fucking
but doing my video journals to my friend in Italy who is very clued up on the medical, well, because she loves everything of going to have a checkup, and she's like, do you even have a parasite? And I'm like, well, no, I don't know, like it's not that I think I have, but if there is one in there, then wouldn't it be great just to flush it out? But
Yeah, because they
it's
can live in
really,
your brain. They live in like there's all
ooh,
different ones. Yeah, there's the brain ones. There's your indigestion ones. Like there's like there's if you look at the diagram, there's like 6 or 7 different parasites that can live in like literally like 4 or 5 different parts of your body.
oh, and I just think because we've traveled the world quite a bit, the places we've been in, like, what if there is one? But then
Jared,
I started,
you lick your cat's face if you could.
Yeah, but I don't.
Even that though. Like there's so many different things that can get you
Yeah.
parasites. And in this day
But
and
then
age, we probably all
because
have one.
it's been really intimidating me, this papaya just sitting in the fridge, that I'm like, I really need to do it before it goes off. But
You
I,
like
you know,
opening your
I've just,
fridge and having a battle with the papaya. You're just like,
you know, I'm like, stop
ooh,
looking at me.
today.
But I really want to give it a go. But then, so then I keep thinking, right, I need to do just a bit more research so I'm prepared if something happens. You know, I don't freak out. And so then I was Googling, like, how do you know if you've got a parasite? And it says like worms come out in your poo. And I was like, oh, well, I don't have that.
Yeah, I mean, a worm dose can only do so much. Like, you can have parasites living in your body since you were a kid. Like, a worm dose
Ooh.
doesn't, yeah, like worm doses, as you know it, actually, like, don't get really rid of parasites. So,
What's a
I don't
worm
know.
dose?
You've never been wormed? Is that weird to say that? I don't even
Yeah,
know.
I've never been wormed. That's what you do to cats.
No, but it's public for humans, especially if you're living with cats and animals and all
You
of
get
that.
wormed. What? Hold on. Right. Hold on. What?
Yeah, like human worm doses. They even
Can
have
we
them
just
that
take
taste
a
like
minute?
chocolate.
Anyone else out there that's listening, do you get wormed? Is that a normal thing? Is this something that
Yeah,
my
do
mum
you?
never took me to? This makes me think of, what was it you said with the dentist years ago? And you were like, what? No one else has this done. And I was like, no. What was it?
What? Teeth cleaning?
Something
What?
weird. It was something weird that you had, whether it was a doctor or a dentist. You went and you made it sound like it was so normal, and it really wasn't. It was like kind of pedophilic
Oh,
or
ridiculous.
whatever was happening.
Now maybe you should just, I don't know, worm dose yourself.
What do you mean worm dose? Can you explain?
Like you just
Because I
go to
don't
the
know what you're
pharmacy and
talking
you
about.
just get adult worm doses. Like you get kids ones, adults one. Like, yeah. Like my mother
I'm
used to
like, are you
worm
serious?
dose. Yeah, once a year, my mother used to do it as a just in case factor. Growing up on a farm and stuff, she's like, oh, you know. I remember she said one time, you're meant to do it twice a year. So she used to give it to us before New Year's and give the other one after New Year's. So she'll
No,
always
she
remember
wasn't
that
getting
it's twice
confused
a
with
year.
the. She wasn't getting confused with the animals.
No, there's adult ones. Go to the pharmacy. You are so funny. I can't believe you've never been worm dosed. We should dip you.
I'm so gonna phone my mum tonight and be like, were you supposed to be worming me my whole life? Like, what is this?
I don't know. Maybe I should ring my mother and make sure she wasn't giving me animal doses.
This is hilarious if she wasn't supposed to and you've just announced it on a podcast.
But like, I've had to worm Sandro.
Oh my god.
It tastes like chocolate. I get him the
What?
chocolate one. Yeah, you can get like chocolate flavored worm
Oh,
juice.
I feel like my mind is just totally blown right now of what the fuck are you talking about?
I'm so glad we had no time to speak this week.
Oh, this is supposed to be a really interesting conversation about parasites, and now we've got on about your 6-monthly worming
I'm
tablets.
not sure there's an interesting conversation to be had about fucking parasites in the first place.
Well, yeah, I think there is. Because as soon as I saw that video, I went out and bought a papaya. Like,
Yeah,
oh.
yes. Yes, it's very interesting that you and the papaya are having a fucking standoff. Oh, I booked to go on a retreat this week. I'm crying. I'm crying from laughing. There's been so many tears this week. God, weddings make me cry.
I just still can't believe that you get wormed.
I can't believe I'm questioning. I always question everything with you. I'm like, is she right? Am I right? I don't know. I
Oh,
love this.
brilliant. Right, your retreat.
I booked to go on the retreat for 4 days in June. I'm very excited. I paid the deposit. I'm going. Rain, hail, or snow. I am in the car. It's a 4-hour drive, and that's it. No one contacted me for 4 days. It's going to be
And
heaven.
it's quite funny because you messaged me and asked me if I wanted to go with you. And then you told me how much it was, and I was like, I would much rather go to Samoa for that price than stay
Yeah,
in New
but you're only
Zealand.
getting the flights. You're only getting the flight somewhere for that. Like for me, that's the whole holiday. That's everything. I know that's everything. That's accommodation. That's food. All I need is the fuel to get there and the fuel to get back. And me
Oh,
knowing
and
exactly how much that's going to cost just kind of suits me right now because Sandra
yeah.
went and booked like nearly $4,000 flights this week. So,
Woo.
I
Well, I mean,
know.
like from what you've paid for that retreat, I could easily have 2 weeks on an island somewhere because I did that in Bali. It cost me 1,500 for 3 weeks in Bali.
Yeah. Great. But that's not including the
But
flights, is it? And that's not
yeah,
including
that
your
was
luxury
that was that was including the flights.
1,500. Yeah, but that what Bali, New Zealand, Bali, the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah, and $1,500 New Zealand paid for the flights and the 3
Did
weeks.
I go to England? Yeah, I did because I got dengue fever.
That's right. You nearly
Anyway,
died. Yeah,
the retreat. The retreat.
yeah.
So, what is it?
It's just all about really remembering the truth of who you are, is how they describe it.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm going to yoga. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to do other things. I'm not too sure I'm allowed to mention in the podcast, but that's okay. I probably will.
And
Yeah.
have you been to one of these types of retreats before?
Never.
Woo!
I know. I'm very excited. It's on a glamping campground, so like the actual things that you're actually staying in are absolutely out the gate. It's in the middle of the mountains, views for days, bathtubs outside. Not that I give a fuck about them. I don't know what the big deal is about them, but anyway. Yeah, I'm excited. No one's going with me. It is a 2-person share thing, so hopefully I get someone sound.
Nice. That's
Into
exciting.
their
So that's
wellness,
in
but not
June.
too into crystals. If someone in between could just be
Yeah.
in my room, that'd be great.
Yeah.
And I want to do a
Wow.
spa day with you. If you're not going to go on the retreat with me, and I just can't be going away yet to Bali with you, we're going to do a spa day in Queenstown.
Yes, you mentioned this week, and I am so up for this because we both do those things separately, but we've never done anything like that together. And
No.
I just booked for my mum and my niece, who are both celebrating very big birthdays this year. I've booked them to go to a spa for the afternoon, and I was sitting there thinking, God, it sounds so lovely. Like I've never done that. Oh, actually, I did do it. I did it with you. We got a couples massage when I think you were like, it was your birthday when I first met you. Do you remember? And we just laughed our heads off the whole time.
They were not impressed. I think they actually kind of wanted to leave. I think they were just like, listen, you guys, like, we can't do this. Like, they were like, I think we only got like a half an hour, 45 minutes. We couldn't stop giggling. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
We can't be doing that again.
We weren't the same people that we are now.
God, no. No, we definitely will be doing separate massages. I reckon we should do a massage, a facial in a place where we can also lounge.
Yes. Well, I had said to you, there's a place is it Arthur's Point?
Yeah.
Oh, what's it called? It's got a saltwater swimming pool. So you literally float in the swimming pool. It's like being in the Dead Sea, but in a lovely tropical styled swimming pool with jacuzzis and saunas. So yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. Oh my God, I tell you what, the sun is coming in this window. It is the hottest week of the year so far in New Zealand. I am sweating my tits off. Anyway, I'm still on board with my 5 a.m. club book. And at the moment, I'm on the chapter where they're in Rome. And I can't stop thinking of you. Honestly, I can't stop thinking of you because he's talking about how he doesn't ever do any work in Rome. It's all about filling up his soul because he just loves like Rome and the food and the people and walking around Roma and all of, sitting on the Spanish steps and how it fills his actual soul. And I was like, oh, do you know what? I think that's how Charlotte feels. I think she actually goes there to like fill her soul because that's how you make it sound, is how he was sounding. And then you have this kind of like work ethic in your home in New Zealand. It's like you kind of have these two worlds, kind of like he's describing the billionaire, and he's a billionaire in the book.
Not.
You'll love that. Yeah. And he talks about it so sexy and so lovely, like you do. And the lighting at nighttime of Rome is like nowhere else. And the cobblestones and the history and all of these lovely things.
Magical. I actually, that's kind of, I like the way you or him has described that, because for years everyone says to me, like, you can't keep running away, you can't keep running back to Rome. But that is exactly what I do. That, you know, I need a reset sometimes, and I go to Rome because I feel like it
Yeah.
fills my soul, and then I'm ready to go and take on the world again. But I need to keep going there for a top up. And it is magical. Oh, do you know what? Sometimes I do feel like I had this moment this week where, you know, I'll watch a movie or a TV program or something that's set in Europe somewhere, you know, whether it's England or, you know, somewhere sunny like Italy or Greece. And I do sometimes feel like, you know, like I said, I go to Rome to fill up my soul, but I also feel like New Zealand, it's like we literally are on another planet. It feels so detached sometimes, like everything is paused. And when we're here, we're in a little bubble and we can do whatever we like, and we're totting around, and then we're going to join the world at some point for a holiday, or, you know, to go and visit family. But I miss life sometimes over there, that it feels like I said, because it feels like it's paused here. I feel like, you know, when you go back over that side, you're back in the game, and it's like, right, what's happening? What's going on? Like, let's get going. And all the history and culture. And then when I'm here, I feel like it's quiet and it's peace and it's calm and it's on pause. Does that make sense? I'm just like
Yeah, I mean, your mindset is different in both places, and that's great. I mean, here, I mean, in New Zealand, you've just, your head is down and you're working hard. And you love history. Like, all the things that interest you are, you know, personally are over there. Yeah, I mean, of course you love both sides for different reasons.
yeah, I just can't pick one.
No, you cannot. But that's why you just need to be in a position where which you're working on at being both, being, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe when I get you back to Rome, because I have got you there once. I need to get you back. We do like a lovely soul-filling retreat somewhere in the hills of Tuscany, or heaven.
Oh my god, that would be just absolutely amazing. Yeah, you'll get me back there 100% because I have very fond memories of the days I actually had there with you. And yeah, it is a different world completely. We do live in a fucking very vast sized island for only 1 million people. Like, you could fit the UK and Ireland into the size of the island that we live on, which only has 1 million people. So, and then the lack of history, it definitely is it is two different worlds, you know. So yeah, amazing, well done. I'm everyone, I mean, I just love that we're doing videos now because, you know, I'm very shiny and sweaty right now, like I have been for the whole goddamn week. I implemented a lot of like morning rituals into my week this week, which the 5 a.m. club has helped me do as well. And I tell you one thing, it has made a huge fucking difference to my week, because here we are right at the end of it and I have survived.
And you just sung.